The year is 1582 and the Hanoji temple is burning to the ground. Thousands of rival troops surround the courtyard, swords drawn, waiting to strike down anyone who tries to escape. Inside the inferno, an elite shinobi realizes the exits are entirely blocked. He doesn't panic, he doesn't draw his blade, and he certainly doesn't plan on dying. Instead, he does something that completely defies logic. He opens the front doors, walks straight through the screaming enemy camp, and steps into the forest. Nobody stops him. Nobody even looks at him. How is that historically possible? We watch movies and think disappearing is all about smoke bombs and trapdoors. But the true Japanese art of disappearing, the ancient philosophy of vanishing, was never about physical magic. It was a profound psychological weapon. Today, you are going to learn how to use this exact ancient technique to vanish from the stress, the drama, and the endless noise of your modern life. But to understand how to become truly invisible, you have to realize why you are currently such a massive target. Think about it. Right now, you are constantly being perceived. People want your attention, your time, your energy, and your reactions. In Zen philosophy, this constant need to be seen and validated is called the heavy anchor of the ego. The more you try to defend your reputation, the more visible you become to your enemies. The shinobi understood this flawlessly. They knew that human beings don't actually see with their eyes, they see with their expectations. If you act like prey, people will hunt you. If you act like a threat, people will fight you. But what happens if you act like an empty room? What happens when you give the world absolutely nothing to grab onto? This brings us to a terrifying question. How do you erase yourself while standing right in front of someone? But here's the crazy part. The greatest masters of disappearing never actually left the room. There is a legendary story of a ruthless warlord who conquered a village and stormed into the local Zen temple. Every monk had fled in terror, except for one old abbot sitting silently on his mat. Infuriated by the lack of respect, the warlord drew his sword and screamed, "Don't you know who I am? I could run you through with this blade without blinking an eye." The old monk didn't flinch. He simply looked up and said, "And don't you know who I am? I am a man who can be run through with a blade without blinking an eye." The warlord was so shaken by this total lack of resistance that he bowed his head and walked away. The monk didn't fight and he didn't run. He disappeared by offering zero resistance. He removed his ego, leaving the warlord swinging his sword at empty air. This is the absolute core of the Japanese art of disappearing. It is the practice of becoming a void. And you can use this ancient strategy right now to regain absolute control of your life. Here are the 3 pillars of vanishing. Number 1. Uzura-gakure, or the quail's concealment. In ninjutsu, this meant shrinking yourself down and remaining absolutely motionless in the brush. In your life, this means shrinking your ego. Every time you argue in a comment section, every time you try to prove someone wrong at work, you are standing up in the tall grass and waving your arms. You are telling your enemies exactly where you are. To disappear, you must master the art of non-reaction. When someone insults you, do not defend yourself. Let the insult pass right through you, like an arrow shot into the fog. Watch what happens next. They will exhaust themselves fighting a ghost. But what happens when the enemy isn't a person, but society itself? This brings us to pillar number 2, Yo-9, the art of misdirection and blending in. The greatest spies in feudal Japan didn't wear black pajamas. They wore the clothes of farmers, merchants, and monks. They survived by becoming aggressively ordinary. In a world that screams at you to build a personal brand, to stand out, to be special, vanishing is the ultimate superpower. Stop telling everyone your plans. Stop broadcasting your emotions. When you become aggressively ordinary on the outside, you protect your incredible energy on the inside. You become untrackable. People can't ruin what they don't even know exists. But there is still one final enemy you have to disappear from. And this is the hardest one of all. Pillar number 3, Mushin, or no mind. You have to disappear from yourself. You are trapped by your own identity. You think you are the person who gets stressed easily, or the person who always has to be the victim, or the person who must always win. That identity is a prison. The Zen masters believe that true freedom only comes when you let your past self evaporate. Every single morning, you wake up as a completely new person. You don't have to carry the grudges from yesterday. You don't have to be the person you were 5 minutes ago. When you practice no mind, you drop your history. And when you have no history, you have nothing to defend. What happens the day after you vanish? don't become a hermit hiding in a cave. You actually become more alive than ever.